Hello there! It's been a couple of weeks since the release of the nearly perfect Witcher 3 expansion, Blood and Wine. With a heavy heart, I finally said goodbye to the White Wolf after completing the main story and filling the Hall of Corvo Bianco with my favorite Grandmaster armor sets. Apart from the great story and side quests, the devs at CD Projekt Red wouldn't be who they are if they didn't include some juicy Easter eggs as well. We've completed a small list of what we believe are the best Easter eggs one might come across while exploring Toussaint. Please keep in mind that some locations and characters from the story might be referenced in this video, so be wary of spoilers. Still with us? Great! Let's dive in. Here are the best Easter eggs in Witcher 3's final expansion. The Wild Hunt was full of references and secrets tied to various popular and acclaimed games. The Blood and Wine expansion is no different. Just before we leave the Sky Fortress, in one of the optional endings, we can take a small detour and follow a floating light orb, which will lead us to a hidden cave. Inside, Geralt will find a lone campfire with a sword in it. Sound familiar? If you still don't get it, you can come closer and Geralt will obtain the blade, which is, by the way, a very good sword. In doing so, he will strike a pose that every fan of Dark Souls is well aware of. The lore of Dark Souls was pretty convoluted before, but now with Geralt linking the flame, it seems no one will be able to understand what the hell is going on in the franchise. It's also worth pointing out that the sword is called Geschäft, which means business or interest in German. What business did the devs have in naming the sword in such a way? Hell if I know. The Game of Thrones series is often compared to the Witcher saga as they both represent a darker fantasy setting and explore the ambivalence of human nature. I don't entirely agree with comparing the works of Sapkowski and Martin, but sure, I can agree that they both know how to write about depraved people and politics. The Song of Ice and Fire was referenced in The Witcher before, and the expansion is no different. If we make it to the last challenge of the tourney in Toussaint, we'll face a large, dual sword-wielding silent knight by the name of Gregoire Gorgon. And when you consider the fact that Gorgon is a certain mountain in the Witcher universe, this Easter egg is quite obvious to notice. Our enemy is no other than Sir Gregor Clegane, also known as the Mountain. I believe I wasn't the only one who was shouting the name of Elia Martell while facing this guy.
You raped her! You murdered her!
The writer didn't stop there, as there's another reference which only fans of Westeros might get. A certain NPC of a small girl playing with a sword references yet another character. If talked to, the girl responds that she dreamt of being a wolf, and that her brother gave her a sword, which she named Needle.
I do. I dreamt I was a wolf.
Well, this one is quite hard to catch, unless you're a 90s gamer, of course. When you try to become the master of fistfights in Toussaint, eventually one of your opponents will be the ill-spoken Mancomb who keeps insulting Geralt. If we choose our dialogue options right, he will forfeit the fistfight, calling us the winner. As it turns out, Geralt was actually challenged to an insult fight, which he had just won. This Easter egg was aimed precisely at the fans of the cult classic The Secret of Monkey Island. One of the pirates in this point-and-click adventure was named Mancomb Seepgood, and our hero, Guybrush, through the course of the game, took part in insult battles. I guess there are many fans of old-school adventure games at CD Projekt Red. May I suggest something? Please make a Witcher adventure game. That will certainly give Telltale a run for their money. Some of you most certainly remember the hilarious epitaphs found in the cemetery in Beauclair. A quest which led us there focused mostly on a smaller part of the area, so you might have missed some nice Easter eggs. In one grave, a certain Picard is buried. That person is no other than Patrick Stewart's Captain Picard from Star Trek. If we go further, we find a certain adventurer who moved here from Thedas, the land where Dragon Age is set. And if we go even further, one grave mentions the land of Azeroth. Seeing that Marvel can get Spider-Man from Sony and take into account series powers, a crossover of The Witcher, Warcraft and Dragon Age is possible. Who knows, maybe Morrigan will take in first place as Geralt fights the Horde in Witcher 4. In my humble opinion, the essence of a truly good Easter egg is the subtlety and finesse, when even the most cautious gamer questions what is being displayed on screen. This one, however, is nothing like that. In the first hour of the main story, just after we enter Toussaint, Geralt will examine a crime scene, which will take us to a nearby river. Searching for clues, our Witcher will jump into water only to find a cloth with DLC written on it. And just after we obtain the said cloth, Geralt will comment that it's without a doubt a noble's possession. Thanks, Red. With expansions like that, every game will feel like a royal. The next Easter egg on this list is quite tricky, as you might miss it even if it's just under your nose. It turns out, some lines of random NPCs reference actual songs. I mean, if you find the right NPC. If you do, you'll probably hear the words I said, "Hey, hey, hey, what's going on?" which is actually a line from the song What's Up by the band Four Non Blondes, which you probably know from a certain viral video with He-Man in it. If we inquire further, the NPC will say, "The Book of Lust is hard and girthy, no one can grip the damn thing." This one is quite hard, but if you exchange some words, it'll be an obvious line from the old song, The Book of Love. If we ask for yet another song, the NPC will respond some random gibberish, ta-dam ram dam dam. Well, that's where my musical expertise ends, but seeing from the ambitious lyrics, it's most certainly a Lil Wayne song. The hidden treasures that filled the map in Wild Hunt weren't that fun for the non-compulsive gamer, but there were overall some fun ones to come across. A treasure like that can be found in the DLC in the Caroberta forest, guarded by some foglets. When we dispose of the monsters, we'll find the notes of the late Smeagol Serkis, who has lost his treasure's possession. And if you witness the surrounding at night, a certain scene from Lord of the Rings The Two Towers comes to mind, where Andy Serkis gave a phenomenal performance of an argument as both Gollum and Smeagol.
Go away! I hate you.
The last one is something of an inception, or a Easter eggception if you will. Long time ago in Zelda A Link to the Past, we were able to attack chickens. If we continued to slaughter the poor birds, soon a storm of chickens was suddenly attacked. The Easter egg is classic and many games have done it since, the Wild Hunt among them. If we murdered some cows in the game, meditated and then murdered the respawned animals again, and continue one more time, a vicious tort would appear, which was probably some virtual animal rights activist. One of the Easter eggs in the DLC was referencing that particular Easter egg. With the arrival of the Scaliga deck in Gwent, many cards soon followed. One of them was a mysterious cow card with 0 attack points. After the card left the table, however, it would be replaced with a Bovine Defense Force monster with a stunning 8 attack points and, surprise, the same art the short card had. So here you have it, an Easter egg that references an Easter egg that was an Easter egg from an old Easter egg. I hope that Cyberpunk won't feature any cows, because if it does, we're doomed. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Those were our coolest Easter eggs in Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Of course, it's only a personal list, and there are many other various references and Easter eggs in the game. If you find another cool Easter eggs like that, let us know. Thanks for watching and see you around.